Alrighty, live shot of Titusville this morning. It is 8:28, and, we were thinking, Mark, who could we bring in to maybe bring us some sunshine here this morning, and we couldn't find anyone, so these guys from Donovan Bauer stopped by. Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good, Luke. How are you? Luke, I told you we'd be here a little bit earlier, and I apologize, but it's your fault.
Okay.
You got me jumped first thing this morning, and even poor George got stuck in the middle of it. Ronnie's upset.
Very upset, huh?
Well, you're making him a star, so now he wants more money.
So there's an issue.
Yeah.
Big ego. Well, before we get into this, though, let's introduce the guest here, because our viewers this might be their first time to actually meet George, and
probably for most of them, but not a lot. This is George Zeljak. George came to us from the Conneaut Lake area. Been there about 2.5 weeks and hasn't quit yet. He's hit me twice.
Yeah, they won't let me go home.
They won't let you go home. Yeah.
They took the chain off so I could come down here.
Well, that's I'll tell you what, the last person you had in there, what was it, like less than 48 hours you're in and out. But in a good way, because there's so much going on there, they just couldn't handle the
keep them
the
so
stress
busy.
of,
And we're so mean.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So why don't you chat with George a little bit?
I want to do that. George, let's get to know you a little bit. First of all, you two have known each other for a while, correct?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, what must have been 10, 12 years ago we finally hooked up, something like that. And we kind of made the joke that we're getting the band back together.
Yeah.
But
now it was the two of you and Donnie that all worked together at one time?
And Donna, also, who's our office manager in the GM store now.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is turning out to be quite the band.
So I said we're getting the band back together.
Yeah. All right. So that was, what, you said 10 plus years ago?
Yeah, I started, 93-ish, or no, 03?
Yeah. It was
Yeah, right around 10 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And we've stayed in touch. I mean, in this business, once you make a friend in it, you keep that friend because you're always picking each other's brains. So for what's left of them, and
mine's gone.
Yeah. It's always the conversation.
You said that, not me.
Always starts off with, "Hey, what's his car worth?" Not "How are you? What are you doing? What's his car worth?"
And mine's always, "Man, I don't know."
Yeah. Well, we all have the same answer.
Well, it's funny. I walked in the other night, and it was Mike and Joe were sitting there, and I think, Mike, you said, "Oh, somebody brought in this truck," and you're kind of describing it, and Joe's saying, "Well, maybe around this much," and you're like, "I don't know. It's more like this much." So I'm sure that goes on all the time. Is just trying to figure out what's the value of the vehicle.
Yep.
You have a lot of tools to take advantage of to figure out what a vehicle's worth, but the biggest tool you have, and the best one, is usually your gut. You can look at all the books and look at all the computer printouts, but you look at the car and you go, "Yeah, I don't know." You know.
And then there's the person who owns the car, who has a lot of sentimental value tied into it. Right. So they always apply that value as well, and that's sometimes hard to get through to somebody.
Well, it's always worth the most to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I remember we got rid of ours. We looked at the back seat, and it's like, oh, that's where we lost our change.
Yeah, or something.
So, all right. So you guys broke up. Where did you go, and how'd you end up here?
We both stayed in the car business, basically. George got out for a little while, but found out once it's in your blood, you're stuck. You can't get away from it.
When I was on my own for a while. I had my own store for 5 years, so that was kind of interesting. And then, for reasons I couldn't control, nothing I did with the economy and the building sold, so I had to close it down, and well, here I am.
Yeah. Well, listen. I have known these guys long enough to know that, they're crazy, but they're great. Doc just very casual out there, but very professional at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's a nice blend out there. It's if you're looking for a vehicle, there's really a great place to start. It's Donovan Bauer. You probably will end right there, so you're not going to go very far. Just go out there and talk to these guys. Now you're over on the GM side.
Yeah.
What's happening over there? You're coming in during construction and remodeling.
A lot of hammer and a lot of dust. It's kind of interesting to sit back and watch this thing take shape. Every day you come in and you see something else happening, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, naturally, all want it to be done. I mean, it's not a way of life we want to stay in, but it's been fun. It's interesting. One thing I found out there that in a couple weeks that I've been there is doesn't seem to be anybody there with a personal agenda, except take care of the customer, and that's refreshing. And it's easy going. It's I hate to use the term laid back, but it's just easy going, and let's do what we can, and it's been fun.
Yeah, well, Mike, you've always had that approach with the ads,
Right. And we're not laid back. We're borderline comatose.
I'm amazed you're even sitting up right now.
He does sleep well with his eyes open. I found that out.
And when I walk in, Joe's like, "Yeah, Mike's sleeping in his office. Let's go back and wake him up." Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Well, what's been going on out there? I mean, springtime's here. What are folks looking at this time of year?
Well, we've been selling a lot of Jeeps on our side.
All but one.
All but one. I've got one reserved. It's going to take me like 4 years to clean it because I'm not even allowed to wash it. It just sits there. This is Luke's.
That's right.
Is that Temple?
Yeah, the green temple out on the corner.
All right, yeah.
That'd be the one.
Yeah.
All right.
You didn't realize that was all dirt building up there, did you?
Yeah, well, I'm starting to learn here now, yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've been holding on to that thing for 3 years now, so
Yeah.
any day.
I've had a lot of layaways over the years. Nah, but this is the best.
I'll come and put a couple bucks down on it.
No, it's okay. No problem. But the interest is just growing and growing.
All right, so Jeeps. You're selling a lot of Jeeps. You got the new models, which are very nice. I've read a lot of great reviews on those.
I've got 3 or 4. I got 3, I guess, Grand Cherokees, 2014, and I've got 3 Compasses and 2 Patriots, all in 2014, which is a great time to steal 6 months of depreciation because it won't be a year old until it's a year and a half old.
Wow.
So, still a little bit of free driving, so to speak.
Are folks looking at vans, planning their summer vacations, or
that's about to start? Okay. Normally, right around the first part of May, people start thinking about they're going to be on vacation June, July, or August. Let's buy the new van, give it a couple of months to get used to it before we go away. And they're machines; they're going to have little bugs in them, so maybe give us a chance to work that out. Or, we hope nothing ever happens, but
right. Well, the Town and Country has really kind of set the standard for the van models today. I mean, if you look across other brands, it seems like a little bit stolen from the Town and Country.
Yeah, a lot of the companies are trying to keep up with things that the Chrysler has innovated with the van, and of course now we're the only domestic left making a van. Ford doesn't make one, GM doesn't make one, so. We're thrilled with it. We're happy to have it.
Okay. How about on your side, George? What are people looking at?
Believe it or not, trucks. We sell, to use the word, a ton of trucks. Very busy, but there's been a lot of interest and a lot of activity on the car side too. I mean, the Cruze has been a great seller. They replaced the Aveo lines with the Sonic and the Spark. Great cars, great commuter cars. So yeah, it's been exciting. But it's been busy on the trucks. People are still buying them, and that's great.
Yeah. Well, are people past the gas mileage now, or is that still a factor when they come in and look for a car?
No, they're still asking. I mean, they look at the truck they're driving, which is probably I'm going to consider it a vintage. It's probably a earlier mid-2000 truck. It didn't get fuel economy. They're getting into the new trucks now. They're making them the lighter trucks. The half tons will haul more. They've done a lot of changes that way, and they're still getting the fuel economy out of them. So they're making the move to actually get that little, maybe a mile or 2 per gallon more.
Do you get a lot of insight into what's coming out of the GM lines? I mean, what are some of the? I mean, we talked about the Grand Cherokees coming out that really is getting good press. What's coming out on the GM side that you're excited about?
they really the Impala is going to be the next thing out, and the redesigned truck. The 2014 Silverado is coming out. We've got a new Impala coming out. That's the big buzz. Is the redesigned truck, and it's going to be coming out here. Actually, we're able to order them now. They're starting out with the crew cabs, and then they'll move into the extendeds and the regulars. But that and the Impala are the big buzz right now.
How much of it is somebody coming in saying, this is the new vehicle I want? How much of it is that vehicle needing to be ordered, and how much of it is just either searching and getting it in if you don't already have it?
My opinion, General Motors has gone, and they're building the vehicles now in a more popular fashion, so you don't run into a lot of that real special order type thing. Occasionally you do, but usually what somebody wants, you either have it or can find it. So we do locate them and go get them.
And you guys have a great selection to begin with. I mean, it's not like there's one or two.
Right.
So when somebody comes in, there's a good chance they're going to find something right on the lot. And Mike, we've talked before, you guys do such a great job with, if you don't have it right on the lot, you're on the phone or online and you can find it rather quickly.
Yes. Yeah, it's not a hard job anymore to try to find a car if we don't have the right color or option-wise. They're pretty.
Yeah, wouldn't you say color is usually the reason you're out locating one?
Yeah, and people will tell you color is like the third or fourth thing, but it isn't. I mean, we find a lot of people, boy, I really like that if it were just dark blue.
Interior colors matter much, or is it pretty much the outside, and then they can kind of deal with?
Usually the interior is designed to match the exterior. But one of the things they seem to have done here in the last few years, and I really can't say this happened on the Chrysler side, but Mike, they finally, to me, put dark carpeting in the cars now. It used to be for a while there, you got a vehicle and it had light gray carpeting. And people would go, I don't want that. I want dark carpeting, because they know they're going to get it dirty. You're going to walk on it or put your feet on it. So to me, that's one of the nicer things, dark carpeting.
Yeah.
And so that we used to, I know over the years, I've had people come in and say, I'd buy that vehicle if it had the dark carpet. And usually the wife is with the husband if it's on a truck, and they're saying the same thing. You're not going to keep it clean. We need that dark carpeting.
And you're probably in the back going,
oh yeah, I'll just dye it.
Well, I mean, really, cars today are loaded with a lot of really cool features. I mean, you're adding, the satellite radio in there. Most of them now are all power windows and locks, aren't they?
Pretty much.
So, I don't know, what else do you need? Just a great radio and the windows down?
Yeah, and you don't have to crank them anymore. You and I remember that.
Yes.
No.
I do, actually.
I've actually sold a couple.
Well, what was it, a couple weeks ago, you brought in that mobile home thing.
Don't make fun of that.
I'm not making fun of it.
Trying to find another one.
Yeah.
I want a place for Ronnie to live.
Oh, Vandervoort's in there going, hey, this is really cool. Let me roll the window back up. So you get those from time to time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we sell a little bit of anything. Anything we don't have to feed.
Yeah. When somebody comes in, do they have they looked at the vehicles on the lot and kind of say, okay, this is what we want? Or do they come and say, well, this is my situation, this is what I would like to have, and then you guys point them in the right direction?
Well, a lot of people will say, this is my situation, this is what I want, or what I think I'd like to have. However, they've already done 90% of that research, and they know what they want. At least it seems that way in our store, I assume. I know it used to be that way over there when I was over there. But
no, it is.
Yeah, they'll let you believe you're leading them, but they're leading you. And that's fine. That's the best way. If we have 90% of buying a car is liking the car. I've always said, if you don't like it, price doesn't matter.
At what point do you know they're serious about buying a car?
When they drop their wallet. Because they're shaking so bad to get it out of their pocket. Because it's a very big investment anymore. I mean, cars aren't cheap.
But the quality of the car today, I mean, they're slick. You get into a new car, and George, you mentioned the gas mileage is better. They're just fun to drive, and people love cars. They love to talk about cars. They love to drive new cars. How often would you say is the turnaround when somebody buys a vehicle? When do they come back and purchase again? Or when do they come back and trade that vehicle in? Is it every couple years?
It used to be every couple years. I think it's actually going to 3-4 years now.
It's in a 3 to 5 year range. That seems to be...
Because financing is longer.
Mm-hmm. Is that good or bad? It gets the price down, but...
It does both. It makes it more affordable, but it also kind of keeps you in the car a little bit longer.
Yeah. You talk about homes today on the market and being underwater on a home. You can get that way with a vehicle as well.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And do you get that with those longer finance options then?
Yeah, it takes a little bit longer to get back to even and start to build equity.
One of the fortunate things on the General Motors side is the warranty on the vehicle is 5 years or 100,000 miles. So the person...
So's ours.
Is it?
Don't make
Since when?
fun of
I
us.
had to get a shot in there.
But unlike GM, the Jeep is guaranteed not to rust, bust, collect dust, rip, tear, tarnish, or break down at the seams for 5 minutes or 5
But
miles.
there's one thing. There's one thing they don't guarantee is what's it going to be worth in 5 years.
Yeah,
but that's
unfortunately,
helped.
we don't know that.
Yeah, if a person buys a car and finances it for it used to be the 60 months, 5 years, but now they're going 72, 75, 84. There's even some banks going 10 years.
Holy cow.
Yeah, that's a long time. But the fortunate thing is if you take a 72-month loan, at least for 5 years,
right.
And if you don't burn it up mileage-wise, you're under warranty, so you're not facing that unexpected expense. And you should have equity or be close to breaking even to roll out of it. But every time you roll out of it, you're still taking that payoff and rolling it back in, and that's where the mountain starts to climb.
Right. There's a lot of discussion out there on how often do you get the oil changed and the maintenance on a vehicle. They're saying with the way these things are built today, you don't necessarily need to do it every 3,000 miles. But what's a good rule of thumb? Is it to continue that?
I tell folks, let the car tell you with the systems on the GMs, and I don't know if the Chrysler has it. I'm going to set myself up for that.
That's the same thing.
But it tells you when it needs an oil change, and they base it off of number of starts, stops, miles driven, average temperatures. Yeah. It'll take it out. Myself, I don't change oil in my vehicles till it tells me to. And the other thing that helps that is the semi-synthetic oils that they're using now. You can run those longer. Used to be, every 2,500, 3,000 miles you needed to change your oil. But now they're getting the higher mileages out of these oils. And it's a cost savings, and it's good for the environment. It's good for the pocketbook.
Yeah. In addition to the vehicles out there, obviously you've got the pre-owned vehicles out there, which sell very well. Mm-hmm. When you look to add those types of vehicles to the lot, are you basing it upon trends that you've seen at the dealership, trends that you're reading about in the area? When you go to an auction, how do you know what to pick?
You try to gear it around your area and things that you do at your dealership. What sells in Florida does not affect us, and what sells in northern Michigan doesn't affect us. So you just kind of need to get a little bit of local knowledge of what your customers want and hope you get lucky and hit it. But it's a guess. There's no doubt.
It seems like you guessed pretty well.
Some of the time.
There's been some colors of vehicles you brought in.
Now, wait a minute.
No. There's a couple I'm thinking of last summer that like, what the heck?
I mean, my pink Challenger.
Well, that's one.
Yeah. He just got something up there the other day that's pretty bright.
No.
George, do you ever pick up the phone and say, Mike, what the hell are you doing here, buddy?
What's that glow over there?
I have a yellow Nitro that you will see long before you round the corner at Walmart heading up the hill.
But being a true Steeler fan that Mike
I got all
is,
the Steeler paraphernalia off of it. It had a Steeler plate and Steeler stickers. It's all gone.
Really?
Yep.
But you got that dang singing Browns
I have my
dog
Browns
in
dog, and I had a Steeler fan out playing with it the other day.
Did you?
Well, the little baby.
Yeah, okay. All right, so in addition to the new and the pre-owned, Something else that goes on out there that's quite popular is service and collision. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, service, of course, we have at our store. The collision is through the GM store. But they are also certified to do warranty work for the Chrysler Dodge side. Paul does a good job, keeps people busy. We have loaner cars to help them with. Our service department, we have 3 techs. I believe you have 5?
Yes.
So we have 8 techs there at all times and try to get people in and out. I mean, obviously things happen that, you have to get the parts but no one likes service because that's the last thing you want to do is have to have your car worked on. But
you guys do a great job with that, and people sit and they'll drink coffee or
right. We have the lounge, have TV, coffee. They're cheap over there, but I normally go out and buy donuts or cinnamon rolls or something.
George will give you 45 seconds to respond.
We don't need to. We eat his. Yeah, folks, go to the Chrysler store. They've got a gourmet menu. Mike's usually cooking in the morning. So
I do a lot of cooking.
Now, is it Harvey who brings in the crock pot? I mean, he's bringing in like barbecue. Oh, is it? He offered me some one time.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't take it.
Yeah.
He'd have broken your arm if you'd have reached in.
George, does Troy do that over on your side?
Absolutely. He always shares. Just about the time he's done, you want any of this?
Yeah, that's right. Here's the crumb.
He got what he wanted. You want any of this?
When somebody's looking to trade in their vehicle, what sort of tips would you give them? What should they do before they bring it in? I mean, should they get it cleaned up the best they can? Does that help, or do you guys see through that?
Go ahead.
Yeah. You can tell the freshly detailed car, and you can tell the one that's been taken care of. That's about the best way I can describe it. And folks will go out and I appreciate the fact that they clean them up, but we do. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And but like I say, you can tell them apart. So.
And we're going to re-clean it anyway. Our cleanup girls are probably going to do a better job than most people around are going to do on their own car. And if you're going to trade a car in, why spend $150 or $200 to get it detailed just to bring it down and trade it? Because it's honestly not going to get you an extra couple $100.
Right. You mentioned that it's a big investment today, but somebody who's serious about it can come to the dealership and drive off the lot within, what's the average time? How long does it take?
It's a couple hours.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, if somebody really wants to get into a vehicle.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if push comes shove, we can have you in and out in 15 minutes.
Wow. Like, I know I have a buddy who went out there, and I think he said...
I've tried to throw you out within 15 minutes, 15, 20 times.
By the way, I always feel so welcomed when I go out there. People are, I can hear them. Hi, Luke's coming. Oh, crap, Luke's coming. So I appreciate that. Oh, look at his shoes. I had a 30-minute discussion on my shoes a couple weeks ago.
We like to keep him guessing.
Jeez. And Mike said, if we don't make fun of you, there's a problem.
That's right. We stop picking on you, we don't love you anymore.
I just laugh because I used to work down the road, so it's...
I know you do.
So, how much of what they're saying is just crap, Mark?
It's true. All of it's true.
See? Well, that's what you get when you get out there, though. Let's talk about some of the employees. Who are some of the first people they're going to meet when they go out there? And we'll start with the Chrysler side.
Okay, when you walk in the doors, you're going to meet Mike Harvey and Joe Vandervoort. Mike's the tall, skinny one. Joe's the short, dumpy one. Well, I'm sorry, short, stout one.
People may have recognized him
from his nudity.
Have you seen any of the ads, George?
Yes, I have. In fact, I keep hearing, who's doing that commercial over there?
That was the main reason he wanted to come down today, was just to re-meet you. And it's like, oh my God, he really does do those commercials.
Okay, so Mike and Joe.
Right.
And Mike's usually pacing around because he has to be always doing something.
Yes.
And Joe's at his desk looking for vehicles or
Acting busy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're not real sure a lot of times what Joe does, but he does set his computer and look good doing it.
He does.
Mike, he's like Bigfoot. You have sightings. and they have one of those in Jimmy Signs. Jimmy's the same way.
All right, before we get over to that side, I just want to say with Harvey, though.
Okay, yes.
You know, when we go out and shoot, we're ready to go, and he'll just disappear.
Yes.
And Mike will be out in the lot moving cars. Or he's doing something. It's like, hey, we're gonna shoot this now.
Oh, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so on the GM side, George, who are folks going to meet when they pop in over there?
Well, when you walk in the door, you're going to see Chuck and Troy are there, and then Jim, like is Mike's. He's there. He's our a smaller version of Sasquatch because there's sightings of him, and he's there. And like I say, Chuck always greets you with a smile, and Troy. Great guys. I'm getting to know them. I really can't comment on them too much, but I like Mike's comment about Jim because he is there. You look out. Oh, there he is. Oh, where'd he go?
But he's an institution. He's been selling cars in Titusville for 117 years.
That is a good record to have.
Pretty much at that same location. Now, Joe has been there since the building was built.
Really?
In that same building, at the same desk. He has been at that same desk through the Ford store, when it was Dick Brown Ford, when it was Quality Motors, now at Griffin of Titusville, now Donovan and Bauer, same desk. That's how lazy Joe is.
Did he ever go home?
I'm not sure. He leaves.
Didn't he steal the Porta-John out of that motorhome?
He might have.
He put a back on it easy. He don't have to move from his desk.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think you backed that. What is it that you got a couple weeks ago?
It was a motorhome.
It was a motorhome. I mean, that's pretty much just backed right on the side, and he just sleeps in there, right?
Yeah, well, and that's why we had the camper we've had campers for 3 years there.
Right.
You know, and we keep saying it's for Ronnie, but nah.
All right, real quick. You also have a great partnership with Big G across the street. That's all part of the family. Talk about them a little bit.
They sell tires. Well, they do. It's Yokohama.
Yes,
And Yokohama is a tire.
Yokohama is a tire.
Because unfortunately, that sign just says Yokohama. It doesn't say Yokohama tires.
Right. But they sell more than just Yokohama at the...
Yes, they do.
Okay.
But Yokohama is their main tire.
Tires for any vehicle, pretty much.
Oh, yes.
I was in there the other day. There's some big tires in there.
Oh, yeah. Skid steer, farm tractors. They'll get it for anything.
Do they ever get tired of it?
Probably.
We don't allow him to talk during guest segments here.
Can you move the... They have a mechanic over there.
Yeah.
Norm. Very good. He is the epitome because he is still the backyard mechanic, and I still think a lot of shops need that. You have it in Larry. I have it in Jimmy Carbaugh. They're the guy that may not have all of the technical training that Chrysler or GM or Ford or whomever wants them to have, but you know what they do different? They just fix it. They don't need the computer. They'll actually find the problem and fix it.
Wow.
And it's kind of refreshing once in a while.
Yeah, but that just tells you what's going on inside a vehicle today, where a lot of it's
it's so
a computer
computerized.
chip. Yeah,
right. So it's nice to have the guy that can take that older car and I'll get that fixed.
Yeah, that's great. And they do the undercoating over at Big G.
Correct.
Which is very popular.
They have accessories, a lot of nice truck accessories over there. Tonneau covers, step boards, running boards, mud flaps. They offer quite a selection of stuff over there.
Now, understand, though, those vets and stuff that are on the showroom floor are not for sale.
No. I almost touched one and I got yelled at.
Yeah, that'll get you in trouble.
You had to think for that Studebaker, didn't you?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Is that a ride or what?
That's quite a collection. Yeah. And Doc is so proud of the collection, and he's always looking for another piece to add to that collection.
Right. He has a 59 vet that's just about done.
Wow.
that is an absolute, every nut, every bolt is exactly the way it was when it came from factory.
Wow.
This car is going to be phenomenal.
George, what's it been like for you to, and I'm not sure what the ownership structure was like at the other places you were at. I mean, obviously you owned your place, but to come here and to have, Doc and his attitude for how, he wants to sell cars, what's that been like for you?
I could sum it up in refreshing. It's a kind of environment and a kind of attitude that, and I'm not knocking anybody else's attitude. I mean, I've been in around other stores, but it's still kind of the way you think it could be and should be.
Yeah.
But you have sometimes you can't find it, and you seem to have found it here. I mean, the attitude is great. It's just, hey,
it's like that old time. It's like going back to the 40s or 50s, that style where you could walk down the street.
Are you saying I'm old?
Well, I'll get there.
Yeah.
You walk down the street, and the barber's out sweeping the sidewalk, and he's, here's some candy for the kids. I don't want your bill. I'm just saying hi. Here's that seems to be the attitude. You want to sell cars, yes, but it's a very friendly place, and you guys joke around sometimes about people just go out there and drink coffee and eat donuts.
Yeah,
but they do.
It is very unusual, and I was never around it until I started here, where guys just come in and sit down, and they're not interested in a car. They just come in and sit down to talk and see what's going on, and little gathering place.
I haven't found the couch in Old Blue yet, but I'm sure I'm sure that hound dog's running around there somewhere.
Yeah, keep looking.
I think the biggest thing I told George when we were trying to recruit him to come over, was he would go home at night without stress, and I sincerely meant that. When I leave the dealership, even on a day that's been a stressful day or a bad day, 4 or 5 blocks away, it's over. Right. I mean,
boy, I wish I could say that for working around
because
here.
it isn't. We can arrange that, right?
It's not even in the picture anymore. That was good. Quick.
But that's the biggest thing that I tried to kind of emphasize to George, that there's going to be things we don't agree with, but oh well.
Well, one of the things along the lines of what Mike's saying is, it's a little bit of a drive for me to get over here, and coming from Conneaut Lake, and it takes me 45, 50 minutes, but that's a short drive compared to him.
Walk.
Yeah, there has to be a reason why people are driving to work to a place, because we all know that, there's other places out there. We're not the only store in town, but what's the drawing card? And it's right along the lines of what he's saying, is everybody gets along. There's not this constant grind and pressure and somebody beating you to get things done. It just gets done, and everybody works well together. And so that kind of negates the drive portion of it, because there are people, we have local people that work there. Well, we've got people driving in from other areas. And that, to me, says something for the establishment itself, that we would drive to come to work there, because the customers are nice and the people you work with are nice. So,
well, you're in Conneaut Lake. I'm in Sharpsville. Donnie's in Cochranton. Donna's in West Middlesex.
Yeah. Wow. Nate
lives in Northeast.
Yeah. Really?
And Joe, my God, Joe has to drive 1.5 miles.
Yeah, that's
it's not quite that far.
Well, Ronnie lives there.
Well, Ronnie's our night watchman.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of. Okay. But anyway, what I was starting to say when I first came in, and I'm going to close with this. You've gotten me in a lot of trouble, and you're going to have to get it cured.
Okay.
You took Ronnie to the fair. You've had him in your studio. You feature him in all of his commercials. He wants more money. I told him to see you. So when you come in today or tomorrow,
okay,
because he already jumped George, and he's got George trying to go to Doc, and I said, no. Now it's between you and Luke.
We'll work on that. I'll be in today.
You made him a star. You made him.
I'm dressed up today, so I don't know if I'm going to show up out there.
Yeah, if you show up like that, he'll just poop on you or something.
All right, hey, listen, it's just after 9. We got to wrap things up here. Thank you guys for coming in. Please come back.
Thanks for having us.
This was a great segment. Let's find out what we learned today, Mark.
Oh, goodness. I hate it when you ask that.
Okay.
That's what I've learned.
Mike, what did you learn today?
That you look really nice in a shirt and tie.
You.
I didn't know who you were. And it's nice to know that you appreciate class, such as George and I coming in, and that you would dress for the occasion.
Thank you. George, what'd you learn?
How to get here.
All right. Excellent. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Head on out to Donovan Bauer Auto Group there on the Hightown Road. We greatly appreciate your support of what we do.
Thank you very much.
Without you guys, we wouldn't be here. All righty, it is a couple minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Tomorrow on the program, we've got Titusville Area Hospital. Our friends from the hospital will be here. Also, Paula Lynch, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Sheriff Nick Hoke on Friday, and Bruce Peterson. Have a great day.